Y'all know what time it is. Standing in at a nice 6'2", 210 pounds. That's probably close to like real. Like when I say it with Tony, like niggas know I'm lying, but like that's probably close with you. 6'2", 210. Would that
I'm
put you in the
definitely
same
not
weight
210.
classes? Oh,
You
that's
short a few pounds.
hey man, look. Tony took 6'2", 210. He was hyped. He said he gonna go be a DH. Um, that's the
6'2",
perspective.
230, 235.
Okay, ain't bad. We close. We close. Would y'all be in the same weight class? Fuck no. Weight class is like every
Who?
7 pounds. Yeah.
Who? Who
Um,
be in the same weight class?
a nigga was 210 and 230.
Yeah, yeah. So in boxing, once you get to heavyweight, that's it. Like heavyweight is like 200 plus, 205 plus, something like that.
I just don't believe these people are real. Like I just, and it could be just again like I'm just obnoxiously tall, and so I'm like, if I was 205, like
Yeah,
yo,
so
you might be able to
200
knock me out.
pounds plus. 200 pounds plus. So that mean I can get in the ring with a nigga that's 300 pounds. I can get in the ring with a nigga that's 350. Like it's no cap. Like 200 is like 200 plus is heavyweight.
Fight at your own risk. Um, oh man.
So like me and
Oh,
you will be in the same weight class.
we ain't gonna
Even
touch that.
even even if I'm 6'2" and you 6'9", like we in the same weight class.
Hey, that's crazy. Um, oh man. So we're gonna get into obviously some NFL stuff here. The more we get closer to the season, we 7 Sundays away. Thank the Lord. So I brought up earlier. I had a Bo Caleb take that the internet hates me for, and that's cool. It is what it is. But I am curious as a Bears fan. Is there a point in your mind, or how many games do you think it would take? Now, I think the Bears are going to have a really good season. I actually got them without official predictions out yet. I got them finishing second in the NFC North, and that's because I think Green Bay and Minnesota are going to regress. But if we play both sides and say there's a possibility of the season going really well and the season not going so well, how many games into this season would it take you to actually start being worried about if Caleb Williams is going to be the guy? Like if they get off to like a 2-4 start, a 2-5 start, at what point would you start going like he came in, generational prospect, gonna be the best quarterback ever, and it's like, all right, maybe he just like really good, or now maybe he's just good, or it's like, damn, they like, can we win some games? Like, at what point does that start to switch for you, or would
I
switch
mean,
for
are
you?
we are we losing games because of him,
Let's say it's same.
or is he like playing like good and maybe we losing games because of the defense or because of other reasons?
Let's say it's defense is good, offense not scoring enough points. Like he may not be playing terrible, but offense just not scoring. Like it's like kind of losing like 21-17 type shit.
Um, I don't have an answer for that. Like that ain't a thought in my mind.
Can't
excuse
imagine it.
excuse my delusion.
I'm all here for the delusion.
I will not speak negativity into the atmosphere.
No, I just
So
I
I,
think
I
it.
think I think like so one of the things I was talking to my stepdad actually Sunday when we were traveling for the wedding, him and my mom rode with me and my aunt, and we were talking about it, and I told him I think, like, I get it, it's a new coach, new offense, but I told him, I said I don't think they have time for like a slow start. um like I don't think they're in a position to lose, in the first like 7 weeks, like 4 games or anything. Like you shouldn't lose 4 games within the first 7 weeks and things like that. Like so, um, I think from some of the things that some of the stuff that I've heard and some of the stuff that I've seen, like interviews with him and Ben Johnson and things like that. Like I have not thought about the possibility that he won't be good. And not even that's not even me saying that he won't be great, but it's like when I hear these interviews and Ben Johnson talks about like how his days where he's not getting the ball out fast enough and things like that, and then just hearing Caleb kind of come up after and just talk about, as far as being accountable, number one, but then they also talk about how coachable he is and how well he receives that coaching and that criticism. Because I mean, especially last year, I think one of the things was that he didn't feel like he was really being coached. Um, So like when you get a coach, number one, that's gonna call out the the quarterback who is supposed to be the guy, and then when you get that quarterback who is also receptive to the information and not being a diva, not throwing fits about being called out and things like that. I'm expecting it to be a better year, and I think Caleb Williams is the only quarterback who could have the year that he had last year, and it probably be considered not a good year. Like when you talk about stats and things like that, because
So
it wasn't. But go ahead.
that's where the internet got mad at me because I pushed back and I was like, wait, I remember watching some of these games and it's like, yes, his overall numbers look good, but I'm like, I remember like the Cardinals game, they got down, especially it was like the run at the end of the second half and the Cardinals came out
Hmm.
and scored to start third quarter. It's like the game started to get away from him. Like there was some late touchdowns in there where I'm like, all right, man, like I want to see him when it's again like it's 7-7 in the first or 7-7 in the second, like when the games are close. Now I do think the one thing the Bears have going for them that's better than anybody else in the division is all of their moves that happen in the offseason, I feel like proactively are going to make them better. Versus the
Yeah.
Lions, to no fault of their own, like they lost both coordinators. That's going to have an impact. I don't think they're going to be a 14-win, 15-win team. The Packers, for all the people that want to say, like, because this is the criticism of Denver, is like, oh, Denver didn't beat a good team. Go look at the team the Packers beat. And the Packers, and they went 1-5 in division. And
Not
it's
even
like
that,
they
but
only,
like Joe. I mean, Jordan Love is just okay. Like I know,
I
like
agree.
I know, like we want him to be good. We want him to be great because you have Brett Favre and then you had Aaron Rodgers, and you're like, oh well, Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre and he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Like he's okay,
I agree.
and I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm saying he's okay. Like he's not special.
He's not special. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then Minnesota is you have a rookie, and so like I think there's going to be now maybe I'm wrong, and JJ McCarthy has a crazy essentially his rookie season. I don't personally see it now. Justin Jefferson is a beast, and I'm not ever going to bet against him. But
I think Minnesota is in a position to where like JJ McCarthy could come in and he just has to not lose them games.
I agree.
Like I think their offense can maintain. Like I think you just need somebody to come in and not lose the game for you.
No, I agree. Um, and so again, but it's like then Chicago obviously they get Ben Johnson, they rework the offensive line. So I personally I think the Lions are still. It's probably still for year one of this, it's probably still a little bit too much of a talent gap between them and the Lions, where like I still see the Lions as like an 11-12 win team. I see Chicago as a 9-10 win team, which I think puts them in a wild card, but obviously not quite winning the division yet. Nothing happened is so Bleacher Report came out with their top 100 players of all time, and this was voted on by not only Bleacher Report staff, but they, as they always say, like send it out to like executives and people in sports and got all these different people's opinions, right? And it was a voted upon list. And so there's two spots I want to focus on. First, Mike finished as 1, LeBron 2. If there was ever a time LeBron was going to catch Mike, in my opinion, it would have been now. He's still playing. We all respect what he's doing as a 40-year-old. But man, it's just the legend of Mike. And I texted you and Tony earlier, and I'm like, that's really what you're never getting out of the way. Like the legend of Michael Jordan is just something that, as great as LeBron is, I don't know if he has something that can combat that. And the second thing, which I was a little ridiculous, and I'm not trying to really diminish either player. They're both great. They're both probably two of my favorite players I've ever watched. Is Kobe was 11 and Steph was 10. And I have Steph in my top 10. I don't have him over Kobe. Shaq was also at 6, which I thought was kind of crazy high for Shaq. But first is, do you think anyone is ever going to move Mike out of that number 1 spot? And then thoughts on Kobe being outside the top 10 and Steph being in.
So first, I don't think we'll ever see anybody move Mike out of that top spot. I mean, maybe in the next 20 years or so, like you'll see some of the conversations start to change because it'll be more people around that never seen Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like I mean, you got that now too. Like of course with some of the young kids, but as they get older, and even as the media starts to change, and like when these new media come in, and these are younger people, you got people like the Nick Wrights who are LeBron fans. So I think as just time goes on, like I think you may start to see the narrative change, but I don't think I don't think you're gonna be able to get past the legend of Mike. Yeah, it's not, and like we kind of talked about in the text, like social media, it makes these people too accessible. They don't seem like celebrities. They, we know they're celebrities, but the way that we view celebrities back in the past is a whole lot different than the way we view them now.
No, it's a fact. But yeah, I
Um,
think that's the thing is like the mystique of Michael Jordan is like that era. It's like him and like Michael Jackson. I know they're not both sports, but it's like that level of celebrity where it's like you just like that shit is mythical. And it's like even if you think someone is quote unquote as good at basketball or as good at making songs, it's like those two are just in a separate
but
space.
even when you think about like the way that like players talk about Mike, when they talked about the top 75 and when he walked into the room and they just talked about the aura, they just talked about how it
Mm-hmm.
felt like he was levitating around everybody, and these are players that this ain't the first time they met Mike. Like they've been around him before, but just watching. And these are other legends, like other Hall of Famers, talking about his aura and his mystique. So I don't think you're gonna ever get that for LeBron.
That's valid.
I mean, some of these like the kids that are coming in now, but I think the game is so different now to where it's like these kids are gonna be talking about Kevin Durant and Paul because they, scoring
Paul
is
George is a lot of they go
yeah,
to.
like scoring is kind of what they care about, or like the bag, as they say. Who had the best bag. So that's gonna be even though LeBron is the best player, they'll say yeah he ain't got no bag or whatever.
Yeah, nah, that's
So
facts.
and then
So
I was gonna
no,
say
I was
just
just
to the
gonna say
point.
part to Kobe Steph.
Yeah, so to the Kobe and Steph point of it all, like I said, I have both of them in my top 10 also. I have Kobe over Steph, but I'm not mad at anybody who has it the other way around because, like I said, I think when you start getting into like the greatest versus the best, accolades go into it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things that I do like, as far as like Gil's Arena and stuff like that, even though a lot of wild takes kind of come from Gil's Arena, he was breaking down like the point, like the ranking system as far as how players are ranked. I don't know if you got to see that, but like how accolades are weighted. So how a championship is weighted, how a Finals MVP is weighted, how All NBA is weighted, how all like so he kind of broke that down, and it's like when you think like so MVPs are the most valuable. Well, I don't know if he talking about individual accolades. I don't know if he was talking about. Yeah, I don't think championships were considered in it, but I think individual accolades. So he talked about like MVPs are the highest in All NBA, and then defensive player of the year, or it's like MVP, first team, defensive player of the year, second team, third team, then all defense. Like he basically just said like this is how is ranked and how is weighted when you select and like who's greatest. So Steph's two MVPs are gonna put him over a lot of people.
Yeah.
Number one, and then I don't know how many All NBAs he has, but he got the Finals MVP, he got the championship. So it's like I'm not mad at people putting Steph over Kobe. I don't have Steph over Kobe. Um, and if I wanted to like debate hard enough, I could probably just I'm sure you could Google numbers that justify it. And then when we talk about impact, like I mean, what do you want to who has more impact, or it depends on who. Like I mean,
Impact
Kobe,
probably 1 and 2 post Mike, which is probably what makes like the impact. And I think you could go either way. Like Steph's impact on the game of basketball, like how the game is played, is probably number one. Kobe is culturally, it's like him and AI are like the go-to if you're like, all right, who do like got again the same way you talk about like kids watching Paul George or Kevin Durant is like Kobe and AI for our generation, like those were the guys.
but I don't even know if like culture, like I think the game of basketball, Steph would definitely be there. But even culturally, like what do you mean when you say culturally?
Kobe literally shooting trash into a trash can. Like as cliche
But
as that
I,
might
but I,
sound,
but
like
no, and I, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Like anytime you throwing anything into the garbage or shooting anything into any type of imaginary basket, you saying Kobe. But it's like they probably do that saying Steph now, but I also like even when you talk about culturally, I don't know if there's a more used basketball player in rap lyrics than Steph Curry. Like
No, that's true. That's true.
and Kobe is somebody that's heavily used in rap lyrics.
That's a fact.
But
I
like
think
I don't know how many 30 Curry, Chef, like how many of those can like so it's kind of like even culturally they may be like neck and neck culturally, but if it and then Steph probably has it as far as impact on the game itself.
no, it's valid. And Kobe has, I forget who said this. Man, I wish it was basically that Kobe is hard for besides the obvious reasons. Like one of the things that makes Kobe really hard to judge is like he might have for anybody that's under 50 the most memorable moments of any player. Like if you go even to like his last game, mind you, that last game when he scored the 60 points, and no one really looks at him and be like, "Oh shit, Kobe scored 60 on his last day." Like we all know what it was, but people were watching that game more than the Warriors who were literally going for the wins record that night. Like he was just such a unique watch and story of a player. Um,
I mean, but even something like that, that's I think name the great player that wouldn't get that though on their last game.
shit.
I mean, not so like not even just great, not even just
Let Draymond tell.
yeah. Let me not say great, like but like transcendent player that wouldn't get that because it's a lot of great players, but I'm like if when Steph decides to go out and he on his retirement tour, it'll probably like it'll
No,
probably
Steph
be
would get
more
it.
people watching that last game. Like so, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you talk about transcend, that's why I wanted to change it from great to transcendent because there's a lot of great players who won't get it. Like,
Yeah,
but
I get that.
like a LeBron, like if OKC Thunder was about to break the wins record and LeBron James was playing his last game, they
I agree
tuning
with
in
that.
for LeBron.
No, I agree with that.
So
Um,
I think like that's and Kobe is a transcendent player. So I think that comes with the territory. But the Warriors were the Warriors, but they were still kind of like Steph was still. It's even weird to say up and coming because he off an MVP and off a championship. But
that
he
was
was
the
going into
unanimous season.
his unanimous MVP season also. But like this is even then Steph. I don't know. It's hard to say, but
20 at
it's
that
Kobe.
point in time. Yeah, it's like at that point
It's
in time,
Kobe.
it's great and good. Steph is great, but it's even at that point in time, it was like Steph. If you said 2016, who's the greater player? Like it's not a conversation between Kobe and Steph. Steph is
That
still
yeah.
number
So
one
it's
in
like
legacy.
yeah.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. I had one more Kobe question, real quick, to do with the top 10 list is. I also feel like, and maybe a little bit of the
Who was in
defense
the
of
top 10?
Kobe.
Do you got the top 10?
I'm pretty sure I got it memorized. So Mike was 1, LeBron was 2. They
No.
had Kareem 3, Magic 4, Bill Russell 5, Shaq 6, Duncan was 7. I'm missing
I'm
somebody.
also not mad at Shaq. I don't think I got Shaq number 6. I can like Shaq is a nigga I can debate probably in the top 5. Like if I want, Shaq is probably one of those people to where you could debate him outside the top 10 if you wanted to, but you could probably debate him into the top 5 if you wanted to.
I I agree. Yeah, Bird was 8 and Wilt was 9. Um,
So like
hold on,
when you
let me
talk
make a
about like,
distinction because
but Bill Russell and Wilt, like when you talk about Bill Russell and Wilt, who is out? Steph is 10, 11. Who is 12 and 13?
Hakeem is 12.
Hakeem should be in 10. He should be in the top 10 too. Honestly,
See,
he can
now
get one of
that's
them
where
other.
Hakeem is weird to me because, like, if you gonna count, and this is tough because, like, and I think we do this in basketball more than any other sport, is there's like in baseball, which is all about its numbers, and in the NFL, like we all acknowledge like Brady and the quarterbacks have such a polarizing effect on the game. In basketball, when we're saying who's the best ever, yeah, there's accomplishments and there's that little bit of like, but if we really put these guys on the court, what are they doing? And that's what makes Bill Russell really tough. Is like Bill has a resume you can't argue.
So
Bill Russell's
yeah.
also a 6'9" center. And if we put him in today's game, nobody's looking at Bill Russell going like, yo, you know what he's going to do? Average 20 rebounds again. Like, that's just not
And I
realistic.
think that's what and I think that's kind of when you talk about like transcendent players is like you got great players, and I think as players, you drop them any era, anytime, they're gonna do what they did, and I think I feel like it's a handful of those. It may even be some players that may not be transcendent that'll do that. Like my favorite player, Carmelo Anthony. Of course, he wouldn't be viewed as a transcendent player, but I feel like you drop Melo anywhere, he can get you
He's gonna
30.
do what he does. Yeah.
It's a few players, but it's a few players that you drop them anywhere, anytime in the history of basketball, and they're gonna do what they did.
Not
And when
1,000%.
you talk about somebody like Bill Russell, he is not one of those guys.
That's Hakeem would bust Bill Russell's ass. With all respect to Bill Russell, legend.
So like
Like
if I was to try to put a top 10 together in my head right now, I would go
I think the easy ones are
MJ,
Mike,
Bron.
LeBron,
I would say
Magic,
Kareem, Magic.
Duncan.
So I would go Kobe, Duncan,
Shaq.
Bird. I would go Shaq over Bird. So I would go Shaq 7, Bird 8, Steph 9, Hakeem 10.
So with that, you're leaving out Wilt
And Bill Russell.
and
Fuck them niggas.
hey, that's valid.
But I mean, I never seen him play. I mean, Will
not,
show me the 100. Will you show me the 100? I might put you in the top 3.
Hey, if I ever get the 100-point game, I put Wilt to 1. Let me
Y'all
find
show
out
me
you scored
you show us the 100-point game. You in the top 3 for sure.
I think, and as I wasn't a huge Kobe fan, like watching in real time, mainly because he was busting my favorite player's ass. But I think the part that I've become somewhat of a Kobe defender on, and maybe unfairly, this will be the last thing real quick, is like, I don't like that out of all those guys we just talked about, like, we're only holding great teammate against Kobe is what it feels like now. Like,
Especially
no one
when you
holds that
talk
against
about
Magic,
Magic, like it don't get held against Magic or Kareem, but y'all want them to
or
both be in
Shaq.
the top 5. Or Shaq.
Like, and at some point, like, again, we don't hold because we know.
And we don't hold it against Steph. But I think the reason it shouldn't be held against Kobe is the same reason we don't hold it against everybody. Like, if he had only won with Shaq and didn't win after Shaq, and he
Yeah,
got
then
all
it's
these
fine.
points and everything, then that's a different conversation. But the fact that and I think that's why Steph doesn't get discredited for the KD years, because we won before him and we won after him. So
Absolutely.
I think when you show like I can do it with you and without you, like it shouldn't be held against you.
That's
Because I think if I only win with you and never and I score all these points and do all these things and never win again without you, then that's a different conversation. You can say, hey,
yeah.
y'all only won together. And even Shaq, like Shaq won with Kobe and without Kobe, even though he was with D Wade, but he won with him and he won
Yeah.
without him. So if I do it without you, it can't be held against me. That's my philosophy on it. Like if I only do it with you, it's different.
And if
Like,
you
and
do it
which is why, real quick, my bad, not to cut you off, but that's why it's held against KD, because he hasn't won since Steph, and Steph has won before you and after you. That's why that's the legit reason why Steph can never be ranked over KD. I mean, KD can never be ranked over Steph, because Steph won without you and you haven't won without him. That's it.
I agree wholeheartedly. And now I don't want to be fair here, is like, because I don't want to say, and Tony Parker and Ginobili are Hall of Famers, I don't want to compare them to Magic, Kareem, Kobe, and Shaq, because that is a different level of player. It's like Duncan also has still the acknowledged like greatest coach ever, and yes, Kobe and Mike have statistically the greatest coach ever in Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson real time versus Phil Jackson now, is maybe no one has taken more knocks on like how great of a coach we think they were. Like at the time when he had like 9-10 rings and he was counting up, it was like, oh yeah, he's greatest coach ever. And then we really started thinking about it as like, hey, the triangle is some bullshit if you don't take exactly those 4 players. I'm like, Mike, Scotty, Kobe, Shaq. It's like the triangle suddenly doesn't work without them. Like,
I mean, but I do think that's a part in being like a great coach and finding the pieces that work for your system. Because if anybody could do it, then, but if it can work with it, like if anybody can do it, then how, I don't know. I mean, because I guess it's like, I mean, shit, you did it with Andrew Bynum, Pau Gasol, like,
I can't argue that one.
you know,
Can't argue that no, that shit was
Like he had niggas thinking Andrew Bynum was gonna be one of the next great centers.
yeah. That was a. I wasn't one of them, but I remember it.
I was not either, but I'm just saying, like, so and I'm not even the biggest field guy either. I ain't really with all that Zen Master bullshit, but like, and he not better than Pop.
He was getting high and letting Mike score 40 and talking about, yo, I figured it out.
He not better than Pop.
Nah, that's a fact. And man, appreciate you for stopping by. As always, don't forget y'all can always hear Will Group Chat Podcast, new episodes every Sunday. If there's comments that you don't like in the TikTok section, 99% of the time they coming from him. If they seem like they're a little aggressive, they are coming from him. Just want y'all to know.
Man, I'm not logged into the TikTok, so I stay logged out of the TikTok to avoid disrespecting y'all niggas.
Oh,
so
man,
they tell me about the comments, but I don't read them because I'm out here trying to be a better person in 2025. Look at God.
Hey man, appreciate you, bro. We'll catch you next week.
God did.